Hello everyone. Our class today is on the topic analysis of pre-stress and bending stresses. But before I go to that topic of analyzing pre-stress and bending stress, it is really important to understand what are s- bending stresses and what is simple bending theory and what are the assumptions and how bending stress formula is derived. So first we go through the simple bending theory with assumptions. This theory is based on assumptions. So we will discuss the assumptions here for simple bending. So first we clearly see that the first assumption is the material of the beam is homogeneous and isotropic. So clearly understand here that the material should be homogeneous, not heterogeneous, that and isotropic, that in all directions properties of material remain same, that is not going to vary at all. Okay. Now our second assumption is that the value of Young's modulus of elasticity is same in both tension and compression. So this assumption is saying that we are taking the Young's modulus value for concrete, that is our beam, and this value for compression and tension is both same. Now clearly that stress is directly proportional to strain and by Hooke's law, and when we remove the proportionality, that constant is Young's modulus. So this Young's modulus is this value is same both in tension and compression. Our third point is that the transverse section which were plane before bending remain plane after bending. So this is very important assumptions, and only from this assumption we can derive that the strain vary linearly across the section. So that linear variation comes only from this assumption. So after this, all of this I will derive how it comes, how this strain is directly proportional to from neutral axis. Strain is directly proportional. Strain is linearly proportional above and below neutral axis. I can show you after this assumption. So here this is important. The transverse section which were plane before bending remain plane after bending. I will show you all this after that. And our fourth is the beam is initially straight and all longitudinal filaments bend into circular area with common center of curvature. Also this assumption is saying that the beam is straight. So our beam is straight, and if there is bending, so this bending will make any filament. If the beam, this is a beam, and there is some filament, so this, if this filament is going to bend, it will bend into a circular area, and there is a common center of curvature. There is common center of curvature through which this beam is going to bend like a circular area. Okay. Our fifth assumption is that the radius of curvature is large compared with the dimension of the cross section. So if this beam is straight and it is going to bend into a circular area, so there is some radius. This radius of curvature is large. It is assumed that is large compared with the cross section. And our sixth assumption is each layer of the beam is free to expand or contract independently of the layer above or below, that there is no restriction, and beam each layer is going to freely expand and contract. It will act like an elastic material. So based on this assumption, I am going to derive the formula of bending stress. Okay, so first we take a straight beam. Our based on our assumption that the beam is initially straight, we are going to take a straight beam. So if we take this one as straight beam, okay, this is straight beam, okay, before, and this is a straight beam before bending. Okay? So if we take some points, like this is top layer, this is a top layer, and this is bottom layer, and there would be a centroidal axis. This is a centroidal axis, centroid. Okay, so we take this centroid, name this as N1, N2, and let us take some layer. Okay, we take a layer like this. This is a small layer. Paint this layer. Okay, this is a very thin layer. We paint it and we name it EF. Okay, so and apply some moment. We apply some moment M. Only due to moment the beam is going to bend. So now our beam has become like, beam has bent, and I will show you here how it has been bent. Like clearly I can show you that our assumption is also that it will bend like a circular area. Okay, so if our EF was, first of all we take N1, N2, so our N1, N2 will now become N1 dash and N2 dash. Okay, and our one of the assumption is that the beam is initially straight and all longitudinal filaments bend into circular area with common center of curvature. Okay, the beam is initially straight and all longitudinal filaments bend into circular area with common center of curvature. So now this was our longitudinal filament EF. Same N1, N2 is also a longitudinal filament. So N1, N2 has bent into a circular area, N1 dash, N2 dash, and EF is also bent into circular area. This is not area. If we paint it like this layer, a small area is also a small area. So this small area has bent into a circular one, E dash, F dash. Clearly also it has been mentioned that it has some common center of curvature. So I will show you here common center of curvature. So this is our center of curvature. Okay, and this EF has been into a circular area, it has F dash, and our new centroidal axis N1, N2 has bent like this, N1 dash, N2 dash, and this is our common center of curvature. So also there is what we can say radius of curvature. If I show you here. For this radius of curvature r, note it here r. So this radius of curvature is for neutral axis or centroidal axis. Neutral axis n1 n2. So this radius of curvature is for neutral axis, then to denote is r. Now you know that for if there is some angle theta, this is some angle theta. For a small theta, r theta is equal to, for a small theta, r theta is equal to n1 dash n2 dash. Okay, this is our n1 n2. So for a small theta, r theta is equal to n1 dash n2 dash. Now if we, this is neutral axis and e dash f dash is at some y distance from neutral axis. So for this radius of curvature r plus y theta is equal to e dash f dash. Okay, e dash f dash. For this bending, we assume that there is some layer where, due to even after bending, there is neither a tension nor compression. So we assume this n1 n2 as our neutral axis, this n1 n2 as our neutral axis, and there is no tension and compression. So even after bending, it has become n1 dash n2 dash, but there is neither compression nor tension. So this is our neutral axis. So the displacement is, there is no strain, zero strain. So whatever this length of filament, it has not changed. N1 dash N2 dash is equal to N1 N2. Okay, N1 dash N2 dash is equal to N1 N2 because it's neutral axis. So for this filament or this layer EF, we are going to find some strain. Okay, so strain on layer EF, strain on layer EF. Okay, strain on layer EF is equal to change in length. So first length was EF, but due to bending, the new length is E dash F dash, and before bending, the original length was EF. So this is overall change in length, and the original length is EF. Okay, clearly see that. Now if we put the values whatever, so this is r plus y theta minus r theta. Okay, and the original is r theta, so it is y theta divided by r theta. This one cancels and is equal to y by r. So a strain on layer EF, strain on layer EF is y divided by r, since r is radius of curvature and it is constant value. This one is constant value. So clearly we can see that strain on layer EF is directly proportional to y. So strain is, if we denote strain as like this, the strain is directly proportional to y. Okay, this one has been derived for layer EF. Similarly, if with any layer, if EF layer was above the neutral axis, then same result will be found. Strain is directly proportional to the distance from neutral axis. Strain is directly linearly proportional to the distance from neutral axis. Okay, so this clearly shows that depends on the value of y. If y is for EF, we got different strain value E. If y is above, if y, if we take this layer, then y has different value. So clearly, strain has different value, and we can clearly see that whatever this is varying, it is varying linearly because there is directly proportional relationship though, so it is very linear. So this is our first deduction. Now I can show you that since we have shown that material, assume that material is elastic, so Hooke's law is followed. So stress, for Hooke's law, stress is directly proportional to strain. Okay, so sigma is directly proportional to strain. Now sigma is equal to Young's modulus into strain. Okay, so Young's modulus into our strain value is y by r. Okay, y by r. So sigma is equal to E into y by r, or in other words we can write sigma by y is equal to E by r. Also here Young's modulus is constant value and radius of curvature is constant value, so this whole part is constant. So sigma is, this implies that sigma is directly proportional to y. So both stress and strain due to bending is directly proportional to the distance from neutral axis, and it is varying linearly. Okay, because this is directly proportional. Okay, now for bending moment relationship, now we are going to see the beam, a section of a beam. If we are going to cut the section, and we are going to cut some section, and we are looking across the section. Okay, so we are looking across the section now. So this is our neutral axis, this is our neutral axis NA, and here at y distance our layer EF was there. So let's suppose some a small area dA at a distance y. So this is our cut section, we are looking across the section. Okay, so we are going to find some force on this small element. The force is equal to stress into area, so our stress is sigma, area is dA, so sigma into dA. Before we have deducted that sigma is equal to E into y by r. Okay, so we write the same here, that sigma is equal to E into y by r into dA. So this is a force. Okay, for moment we know that moment is equal to force into displacement. Okay, force into distance or displacement, whatever you say, the force into y, because below the neutral axis we have taken that distance is equal to y, so y into force, so y into E by r into y into dA. This moment is for this small area dA. Okay, so it's equal to E by r into y square dA. This moment is for a small area dA. Now if we have to find moment for the whole area, okay, bending moment for this whole area, okay, so we have to integrate this one. So net bending moment Bm is equal to integration of E by r into y square dA, and we have assumed this y distance from neutral axis, so we are going to integrate from minus y to plus y. This one if we take capital y minus plus capital plus, so this is equal to E by r, and this minus y to y square dA, that is this integration. You can clearly see that this integration is gives the result for moment of inertia. This is also the formula of moment of inertia, how to deduct moment of inertia of any section. Okay, so we can clearly write E by r into I, m is equal to E by r into I. This implies that m by I is equal to E by r. Before we have also find that sigma by y is equal to E by r. So from here we can clearly write m by I is equal to sigma by y is equal to E by. This is our formula for bending stress. This is our bending stress sigma. This is our formula for bending stress. We are going to use this in pre-stress analysis, the same formula. Okay, so this formulas will help in our further discussion of this topic, and once again want to show you how all of this has come. Okay, so we can see from the start this is our straight beam. Now it has bent like this, and from the assumption we have made that if any filament is there, it is going to bend into a circular area. This circular area with the common center of curvature. We have assumed these things, and from there we have assumed radius of curvature, deducted these things have been obtained. Okay, sigma is directly proportional to y, stress is directly proportional to the distance of neutral axis. Also strain is directly proportional to y, strain is directly proportional to neutral axis, distance from neutral axis. Also this is our bending stress, and this formula sigma by y is equal to m by I is equal to E by r. Then m is equal to moment, bending moment, I is equal to moment of inertia, sigma is bending stress, y is distance from neutral axis, is equal to Young's modulus, r is equal to radius of curvature. So this is for today. Next video will be in the topic pre-stress. Okay, so